Okay, let's jump right in. Picture this. Beijing, September 3rd, 2025. Now, that's not just any date.
No, definitely not.
It's the 80th anniversary of Japan's surrender in World War II. And China, well, they're gearing up for something huge, a massive military parade.
Right, and these aren't just annual events. They tend to hold these very large ones on significant anniversaries.
Exactly. And this one feels different. It's more than just remembering history. It feels like a very deliberate, strategic showcase, a powerful message being sent out.
A message aimed at the whole world, really.
So our mission today in this deep dive is to really unpack this. We want to look at the history behind it, the technology they're planning to show off, and, well, the bigger geopolitical game being played.
Yeah, there are layers here.
We've been digging into this to figure out what's really at stake, why this parade matters now, and crucially, what it means for you listening to this.
And it's fascinating because it's not just about the shiny hardware rolling down the avenue, is it?
Every single element, the formations, the specific gear chosen, even the speeches, it all sends signals. Domestically, yes, but maybe even more importantly, internationally.
Right. It's like they're weaving together the past and the present to make a statement about the future.
Precisely. It's a projection of intent built on this historical narrative.
Okay, so let's ground ourselves in that date again. September 3rd, 2025. 80 years since Japan surrendered. That moment, it completely changed the world map, especially in Asia.
Absolutely fundamental shift.
And to really get what this parade is about, we found you have to go back further. You really need to look at 1937.
The start of the full-scale invasion of China by Japan.
An incredibly brutal 8-year war. It left scars that, well, you can still see influencing things today.
Definitely. And that war itself was incredibly complex. You had both the nationalists under Chiang Kai-shek and the communists under Mao fighting the Japanese.
Right, though often separately.
Often separately, yes. And it's important to remember, I think, that the historical consensus is that the nationalists really carried the main burden of the conventional fighting. Huge sacrifices.
Yeah, staggering losses.
Then the war ends. Japan surrenders formally on September 2nd, 1945. But for China, the fighting wasn't over.
No, the Civil War just picked right back up, almost immediately.
Exactly, which, as we know, led to the communist victory in 1949, the founding of the PRC, and the nationalists retreating to Taiwan.
In this history, particularly things like the memory of the Nanjing Massacre.
A truly horrific event.
Yeah.
Hundreds of thousands killed.
It directly fuels China's perspective on Taiwan today, doesn't it? They see it as unfinished business from that era, an inseparable part of China.
It's completely intertwined. This isn't just dusty history for them. It's a core part of their national identity, their narrative about national rejuvenation, and it absolutely shapes their stance on Taiwan. It's very much alive.
Okay, so bearing that deep and, frankly, painful history in mind, let's fast forward. The People's Liberation Army, the PLA, we know it's massive. The world's largest standing military, over 2 million active personnel?
That's the number, yes. It's huge.
But what really struck us in our research, and what seems key here, isn't just the size. It's the speed and the focus of their modernization efforts recently.
That's the crucial point. It's not just about numbers anymore.
It's this relentless push for advanced tech, advanced capabilities.
Yeah.
Transforming the whole force.
So how big is this push? Well, officially, the 2025 budget is pegged at 1.78 trillion yuan. That's roughly, US $246 billion?
Huge sum.
It is. And frankly, most independent analysts think the real figure is probably quite a bit higher. There's a lot of spending that isn't necessarily captured in that official defense budget.
Okay, so where's all that money going? What's the goal?
Well, the stated and observed goal seems pretty clear. Challenge U.S. influence, particularly in the Asia-Pacific. And critically, develop the undeniable capability to take Taiwan by force if they deem it necessary.
So the modernization is very targeted?
Very targeted. Rapid expansion in areas like special operations, army aviation, helicopters, transport, attack capabilities, and electronic warfare.
Yeah.
Big emphasis on cyber, too.
And it's all networked, right? Information technology is key.
Absolutely. It's about integrating everything, enabling long-range precision strikes, projecting power well beyond their coastline. It's a very deliberate, very strategic buildup we're witnessing.
So with all this investment, this focus, what are we actually likely to see at this parade? What are the star attractions going to be?
Ah, right. This is where they really showcase the results of that spending.
It's like you said, not just hardware, but a message about capability, almost like a military reveal event designed to impress, maybe intimidate too.
I think intimidate is part of it, yes. You'll definitely see cutting-edge stuff. One area to watch closely is hypersonic weapons.
China's considered a leader there, right?
Arguably the leader in deployed systems.
Hmm.
We're talking about things like the DFZF glide vehicle, launched by the DF-17 missile. And this isn't theoretical. It's been operational since 2019.
And what makes them so significant? The speed.
The speed, yes, Mach 5, Mach 10, possibly even faster. But it's also the maneuverability. Unlike a ballistic missile following a predictable arc.
These things can change direction.
Exactly. They can maneuver within the atmosphere,
Yeah.
making them incredibly difficult for existing missile defense systems to track and intercept. It kind of upends the old defensive calculations.
And are they still developing them?
Oh, absolutely. We've seen reports fairly recently, actually, about tests involving maybe even a Mach 16 propulsion system. So they're pushing the envelope constantly. Faster, harder to stop.
Wow. Okay, what else? You mentioned electronic warfare.
Yes, expect to see advancements in electronic warfare gear. These are systems designed to jam enemy communications, blind radar systems, disrupt command and control, basically create chaos for the opponent in the digital sphere. Crucial in modern conflict.
So blinding and deafening the enemy.
In a sense, yes. Then on the ground, look for their latest ground force power. Things like the Type 99A2 main battle tank.
Heard it described as a beast on treads.
It's certainly formidable. Advanced fire control, protection systems.
Yeah.
It's seen as being on par with top Western tanks now. It signals a real shift from mass to quality in their armored forces.
And artillery.
You'll likely see various self-propelled howitzers like the SH-1, the H-4. These systems show they have powerful, mobile, long-range firepower to support ground operations.
So it's a full spectrum display.
It's a comprehensive picture. And remember, even things they don't roll down the street, their aircraft carriers, their new destroyers, their J-20 5th-gen fighters. The Parade serves as a symbol for all of that expanding capability, too. Air, sea, land, cyber, space. They want to show strength across the board.
Okay, let's pull back again. We see the history, the tech. What are the big geopolitical ripples from this? This is more than just showing off tanks, right?
Much more. It's a major geopolitical statement. A declaration, really.
Aimed at who?
Primarily, you have to say it relates to Taiwan. The message seems unavoidable. China sees Taiwan as part of its territory, and it's building and now displaying the advanced military means to enforce that claim if it chooses to.
So a very clear signal of readiness, or at least capability.
Capability, certainly.
Yeah.
And perhaps a signal of diminishing patience. This has huge implications, obviously, for the U.S. as Taiwan's main security partner.
And for the region, too. Japan, South Korea.
Absolutely. Everyone in the region, Japan, South Korea, Australia, the Philippines, India, they'll be watching this very, very closely. It directly impacts their security calculations, the regional balance of power. It's impossible to ignore.
Is there a broader message, too, beyond Taiwan?
I think so. It signals China's ambition to be the dominant military power in the Asia-Pacific, effectively displacing the United States from that role it's held since World War II.
That's a fundamental challenge to the existing order.
It is. It's not subtle. And we're even seeing hints of wider strategic moves, like these reports about potentially supplying advanced missiles like the DF-17 hypersonics to Pakistan.
Really? That would certainly shake things up in South Asia.
It absolutely would. It shows China potentially using its military tech to influence dynamics well beyond its immediate neighborhood. So this whole event, Xi Jinping overseeing it, the perfectly drilled troops, the advanced hardware, it's a snapshot of current power, yes. But it's also, maybe more importantly, a declaration of future intent.
Right. It lays down a marker for where they see themselves heading on the world stage.
Exactly.
So wrapping this up, it's clear this parade on September 3rd, 2025 isn't just another anniversary event. It's this really complex mix of history, technology, and pretty stark geopolitical ambition.
A message rooted in the past, delivered with the technology of the present, aimed squarely at shaping the future.
It's a powerful signal to the world, no doubt about that.
Which leads us to a final thought, something for you to consider. Given everything we've discussed, the sheer pace of technological advancement, the very clear geopolitical goals being signaled, how might this specific display of military strength actually influence the global landscape over, say, the next 10 years?
Yeah, beyond just the immediate region.
Exactly. What ripple effects could this moment have for international relations, for global stability, maybe even for cooperation versus competition well into the 2030s? Something to really mull over.